almost sounded like an apology.
That's a compromise. I'm not gonna have to wait much longer.
I'm gonna help you get through this.
I don't know that I love the sounds of this. We're gonna find the actual murder.
No, you can't.
Portia's actions are going to cost her. If she continues down this path, she risks losing her job and even going to jail. It's a good way to get rid of her, especially considering Curtis deserves his own storyline and a different leading lady. I believe they did this to draw Chrissy out. If they have a picture of Alexis's car at the Quartermain mansion, there's a chance Chrissy might be with her. They never showed Alexis the evidence. Molly doesn't usually turn to her significant other during chaos, so it wouldn't surprise me if she ended up with Dex. That would definitely shake things up, particularly if it resulted in an unexpected pregnancy. Nana could have ended Willow's obsession with Drew by revealing the truth about them. Michael, whatever you do, don't tell Willow what you saw. You might have to handle this situation Michael Corleone style. It's ironic that Portia, who always looked down on Sunny, has now violated her oath twice. Kelly should remain as Sam. Recasting her role won't work. You've already seen how that turned out with the attempt to recast Jason. No offense to the other actors, but Kelly is irreplaceable in this role. I suspect Rick is somehow involved in this mess. He might have had Scott kidnapped to get him out of the way, clearing the path for him to take over Heather's case. His animosity towards Sunny aligns with Kate's. What if they were in this together? Now that would be a plot twist. I'm confused by what some people are watching. Sunny shot Kate's dead without hesitation. Christina couldn't have been there and pulled the trigger at the exact moment as Sunny, without hearing the gunshot. Heather will be devastated if Portia has tampered with her blood results to sabotage her pursuit of justice and redemption. Hopefully, Rick will recognize the conflict of interest with Portia having access to Heather's medical records and will order new tests. Rick was wrong to trust Curtis's family, who are all self-serving and willing to step on others for their own gain. None of them were ever victims of Heather's, so they don't deserve a share of her financial compensation or to have a say in her future. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The way the writers handled Kate's exit, involving so many major characters, has left many of us shaking our heads. Alexis, always doing anything for her daughter, mirrors Heather, who also went to great lengths for her own. I really hope the writers don't mess up the dialogue when Heather and Alexis finally meet. It could be an iconic moment. If Kelly is gone, they should write out her character entirely. The actress they brought in as a replacement just doesn't fit the role. Portia Robinson is definitely not going to be happy about Heather's release. Does she even realize we're talking about prison? Portia's reaction could lead to her spiraling, and it wouldn't be surprising if this costs her career or even sends her to jail, an easy way to write her out. Curtis deserves his own storyline, and a different leading lady anyway. The situation with Alexis worsened in court, especially in front of her 3 daughters. One of them really needs to stay quiet. She's only making things worse. I remember Sunny shooting Kate's in the chest, then walking up to him and firing another shot, probably in the head, to make sure he was dead. But I don't think Kate's was alone. He wasn't foolish enough to confront Sunny without a plan. I believe Kate's set everything up for revenge, even sacrificing himself in the process. There's likely someone out there who knows everything, and Kate's made sure of it. I still think there's going to be a twist, and it won't be Sunny who's responsible for Kate's death. The actress replacing Sam just isn't right for the role. The hair and makeup make her look too old. Also, I thought Lulu's condition was dire, yet they have time to go off on expeditions searching for Lucky. How many weeks will be wasted on this storyline? And who really believes Anna could rescue anyone? I think Rick is somehow behind all this. He probably had Scott kidnapped to clear the way for himself in Heather's case. His hatred for Sunny matches Kate's. Who's to say they weren't working together? Now that would be an interesting twist. I don't know which show people are watching, but Sonny shot Kate's dead without hesitation. There's no way Christina was there and pulled the trigger at the exact same time as Sonny without hearing the gunshot. Sonny continues to be a selfish man. He commits crimes and, as always, refuses to take responsibility, dragging others down with him. This is where Christina gets her selfishness from. At this point, just throw both of them behind bars. As for Heather, I hope she wins, and Portia loses everything when it's revealed that she tampered with Heather's results. I'm beyond tired of annoying Portia. The way the writers got rid of Kate's, involving so many main characters, still has me and others shaking our heads. Alexis, who does anything for her daughter, is now crossing paths with Heather, who's done the same for hers. I really hope the writers nail the dialogue when Heather and Alexis finally meet. It could be a great moment. If Kelly is gone, they need to get rid of her character completely. The actress they've chosen as a replacement is terrible, just not a good fit. Alexis's situation got even worse in court, right in front of her 3 daughters. One of them seriously needs to stay quiet. She's only making things worse. Natalia is, hands down, the most unnecessary character on the show. It's frustrating to see fan-favorite characters taken away while she remains. She has no chemistry with Sonny, and he's only boring when he's around her. She has 0 connections in town. It's time to write her off. She's just a waste of airtime. Christina, sit down. You're only going to make things worse for Alexis. And can Sonny just come forward already? What happened to his promise? I won't let any of my kids' mothers go to prison. Maybe Nina should tell Willow. That man you think is so great is sleeping with me. Do you really want to blow up your marriage over him? I think Christina took a step in the right direction today. Hopefully, she and Molly end up in the same grief counseling class. How can they charge Alexis when the gun is still in the water? If she's being charged for throwing the gun off the bridge, why don't they have it as evidence? Ric's outside lab results on Heather are different from GA's, which Liz mentioned. Yup, sounds like Portia. If it's proven, I hope she gets fired. It seems like Christina is finally facing some painful truths. She's starting to call the fall an accident and is questioning her decision to go to Ava. Both Christina and Molly need therapy. Am I the only one wondering if Portia tampered with Heather's lab results? Now, for my thoughts on the return of Lulu Spencer. Julie Berman's portrayal of Lulu was strong-willed and independent, just like her father. Amy Vreeland was also great as Lulu Falconeri, but when Em took over the role, it felt like the writers completely changed the character. They became 2 totally different versions of Lulu. Lately, when the show references Lulu, it reminds me more of how Julie played her, not Em. If that's the version they're bringing back, I really wish they'd bring Julie back. At the very least, I hope the new actress can do justice to the character, especially since Lulu is the daughter of the legendary Luke Spencer. Molly is acting so strange lately. She's completely blinded by her rage toward Christina, and she really needs to work through that issue. At the same time, Christina should stop calling the baby Adela. It's only validating Molly's points. They both need to show each other some respect. Watching their endless argument is becoming exhausting. I read that when Steve Burton expressed interest in returning to GH a few years ago, they already had Billy Miller playing Jason. To adjust the story, they made Drew Jason's twin. Then, when they no longer needed Drew, they wrote him out, leaving him blindsided. Kelly even made a few comments about how it was handled, and now her story is over too. After that, Cameron Matheson became available when his daytime show ended, so they rewrote the story yet again to bring him in as Drew. Apparently, Kelly plans to include all of this in a book she's writing. What really blows my mind is how people keep insisting that Christina, who didn't actually do anything, should take responsibility, while Sonny, the actual murderer, gets a pass. How are people still defending this murderous coward? Before these recasts, Molly and Christina got along just fine, and TJ never disliked Christina or anyone else. There was no mention of resentment. Christina was always the troubled one, but Alexis gave equal attention to all her daughters. It was mostly Sunny who spoiled Christina, and she was always angry at Alexis for disagreeing with her and telling her the truth. I really dislike how they've changed the characters. When will Willow finally find out that Nina and Drew teamed up to manipulate her into forgiving her mother? I cannot wait for that moment. Not only did Nina manipulate Willow into forgiveness, but she's also hiding the fact that she's sleeping with Drew. When Willow discovers the truth, she'll realize her mother hasn't changed at all. She'll be furious that Nina had the chance to come clean about her affair with Drew, but chose to let Willow continue risking her marriage, thinking Drew was some great guy who would never lie to her like Michael did. Willow will be livid with Nina and disgusted with Drew. She might even accuse Nina of playing a role in breaking up her marriage by keeping these secrets. Nina's done it again, lol. The way Sunny talked to Molly was so strange. They used to have a close uncle or niece relationship, but he didn't say anything to comfort her. Instead, he put the responsibility on Molly to comfort Christina. We've known each other a long time. What an odd thing to say. I know some people don't like the storyline between Drew and Willow, but there's nothing disturbing about it. They're not related by blood, and they're both adults. This isn't the first time we've seen an older man with a younger woman on a soap. These kinds of storylines keep things interesting. We often complain that the stories are boring, but this one is far from dull. I'm curious to see where it goes. I think Sunny will turn himself in rather than let Alexis sit in prison while waiting for trial. Once again, General Hospital shows how little they care about portraying the criminal justice system realistically. Alexis has been charged in state court, not federal court, so the FBI attorney has no jurisdiction here. Plus, the FBI doesn't prosecute cases. That's the job of the U.S. Attorney's Office. Yes, the FBI has attorneys, but they don't practice in court. And let me reiterate what I said last week. They could easily subpoena cell phone data to pinpoint where everyone was. Also, nobody's mentioned that Sam was with Alexis around the time Kate's was killed. It's just ridiculous how many plot holes there are. Why was Drew covered in oil after his swim in the Quartermain pond? Maybe they should check the water quality. Alexis and Christina should have just told the truth from the beginning. Neither of them was guilty. Now it's turned into a huge mess. Why does everyone act like Tracy's crazy when she's right 98% of the time? Sonny did murder Jagger on the Quartermain grounds, which would obviously be bad for Deception's business. So why do the other characters react like she's the one being unreasonable? Sure, they might not know Sonny killed him, but they do know he's a mob boss who's killed before. It doesn't make Tracy look bad. It makes everyone else look stupid. Even being associated with Sonny is bad for business. And now they've hired the local homophobe to work for the company. It's sickening. And then we have Mac, who I usually love, giving Tracy a hard time on her own family property, while she's reprimanding one of her employees for doing something without permission. Am I really supposed to think Tracy's a villain for expecting a little respect from her employees? I just don't get it. Sonny did kill John, and Sasha should have gotten permission from Tracy. But for some reason, Sonny has to be protected at all costs. Don't ask me why, but that's the mindset on the show right now. GH is clearly propping him up and idolizing him. Honestly, General Hospital would improve dramatically if they cut Sonny's screen time by at least 50%. It would be even better if he were just reduced to a recurring role. Jason and Anna as a couple. I'm surprised at myself for not being completely repulsed by the idea of Jason and Anna as a couple. Honestly, I think it could be fun to watch. Right now, I can't tell if the writers are just testing their chemistry, or if they're planning to take this storyline further. It seems like Jason is trying to pursue Anna, and I've actually been enjoying it. But why do we keep going down this road? Why can't people just be friends? Personally, I think it would be gross. Jason and Anna don't mesh well, and she's significantly older than him. While that's not necessarily a deal breaker, she honestly looks more like his mom than a love interest. It's just as unappealing as the Drew and Willow pairing, or some of the other couplings they've tried. Why does everybody have to end up in a relationship? Why can't they just stay friends? At this point, Anna is so weepy and weak that I don't think she's fit for any sort of relationship. Why can't Jason just be the friend she leans on during this tough and emotional time? I really don't want to see them kiss. I just don't. Honestly, I wish Elizabeth had gone with him instead. That's something I could have gotten behind. If Drew is Michael's uncle, that makes Willow his niece by marriage. If that's the case, their whole affair becomes even more questionable. I really don't know what the writers are thinking here. Niece-in-law is a pretty tenuous connection, especially when you've got people in Port Charles who share half-siblings, multiple dad or son combos, and a web of siblings and cousins. The Port Charles gene pool is more like a gas lick at this point, lol. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.